Hey, it's his sister Roland. All I need is a few minutes. So on Tuesday, July 18, 2023, Adrian Davis took the stand to testify that Jamell Demings found out about the deaths of Anthony Williams and Christopher Thomas around the same time that he did. So if he found out around the same time as he did, there was no way possible Jamell could have been involved in their deaths. So I believe he was like the Adrian Davis, whose nickname or alias is AD. So he's not even part of the YNW crew, because you had YNW Melly, YNW Juvie, YNW Sack Chaser, YNW Bortman. He was just AD. That's it. So he didn't have any. He wasn't part of the Four Amigos, which could be his motivation why he testified more in favor of YNW Melly, even though all of them were supposed to be friends.
So you went to school with Williams, Thomas, Henry, Melly, Glass. Is that correct? Yes, sir. Everybody's talking. Nobody's talking.
So all of them met when they were in school. However, Adrian Davis knew Melly and Bortland before he knew Sack Chaser and Julie. But Melly was more closer to Julie and Sack Chaser. Closer to the fact that, remember, he had their names tattooed on his face.
What you got tattooed on your face? Tell me about it a little bit. What's that say above your eyebrow on that side?
Which side?
Oh, either one.
No, I got Sack Chase right here. That's my brother. That's my twin.
Okay.
And I got Juvie.
Apparently.
This shit for life.
So even though Melly knew AD before he knew Sack Chaser and Juvie, he was more closer to them instead of AD. So I'm sure he jumped on the opportunity to testify, to show his loyalty, so maybe he could move up in the ranks to be closer to Melly.
Any of you have any problems with each other?
No, not at all.
Would you label yourself good friends, associates, close friends, or what?
Good friends, close friends, best friends.
So the defense asked if they had any problems with each other and what would he classify them as. But I'm not sure if he was referring to when they were in school or when they grew up. So it was kind of unclear. Because I'm sure when they were in school, they were very close. They were probably inseparable. But we know, because we're here at a murder trial, that something began to happen that deteriorated their friendship. And the defense further, he asked the same question another way, did they have any fights? Just to clarify, to make everybody know that, hey, there was no ill will between them. Everybody was cool or whatever. So he doesn't have an agenda why he's here testifying in favor of Melly, because they were cool. Now, when the defense was questioning AD, he answered all the questions with no problem. Even if at times he did not remember, he tried his very best to remember.
I want to draw your attention to the year of 2018. Did there come a time that you came down to Broward County, Miramar, Florida?
Yes.
About when was that?
I don't remember exactly, but I want to say probably like September, July, something.
Okay.
So you see how he was, even though it was 5 years ago, he remembered the month that he came down to Broward County from wherever he was coming from. He tried his best to remember, though it was 5 years ago. However, when the prosecution came and asked him certain questions, at first it started well. Let me say that. But it's when his statements did not corroborate the first statement that he gave in May of 2022, then it just went downhill.
Do you remember if you knew the route home?
No.
Do you remember what phone number you had back then?
No, man.
You don't remember your phone number?
5 years ago, so.
Okay.
So I have to pause it here. So the prosecution has this thing that she cannot understand. She puts an emphasis on why people don't remember a friend or family member's phone number. You have to remember, we're living in a time that people have their cell phones, so they're saving a lot of things in their phone. When they are calling somebody, they just click on the name and just call it. They're not memorizing the numbers anymore because not a lot of people use those address and telephone books anymore. But for some reason, it's like when she asks the question, is like, why you don't remember? You don't remember this number? You don't remember this friend's number? I had to stop it there.
Do you remember if you were awake or asleep?
Just told you. We were asleep.
You were asleep.
Yeah.
And this is when he started to get annoyed, and then he went fully ghost mode on her, when they hide behind the hair. Sometimes is that just their eyes showing. He couldn't completely do it there because he's in a court of law, but he began to just, some of the hairs on his face, and he's looking at her because he started to become annoyed because she called him out because you said this May 2022, and then now for some reason you're saying something else or you don't remember. That's her job. That is what she's supposed to do. And this is another thing I don't understand. Did the defense prepare some of these witnesses for the tactics that the prosecutor is going to use to interview them? I don't understand.
Do you know why the car stopped?
No.
Do you have any conversations or messages with the defendant?
No, ma'am.
Do you have a phone call with the defendant?
No, ma'am.
His demeanor totally began to change. And I'm not sure if he understood his assignment. Maybe he didn't understand his assignment. You came to tell the jury, to convince the jury that Melly was not anywhere when these young men lost their lives. He actually found out along with you that they lost their lives. But the person who the defense already believes you, of course, because you're testifying in favor of their client. You need to convince the prosecution, but your energy has changed. You don't remember, you're giving short answers. I don't think he understood the assignment.
Of course, he used your phone to call it and try and find it, right?
I don't remember.
He didn't, try and do Find My iPhone or anything like that. Of course, he used yours to do that, right?
I don't remember.
Of course, he used something like, an Apple iWatch and set it up.
Objection, there's no testimony that he had it.
I don't remember.
And at times, the questions that he's going to say that he doesn't remember, he answers quickly. But to me, the other questions where he may have to answer yes or no is like he pauses. He has to think about it and then answer, for a split second, like think about it. If it's the truth, why do you need to pause? Did you take this? No, I don't have to think about it because I didn't take it.
So, of course, he did all that. He went on Find My iPhone and he's looking for it.
I don't know. I don't remember.
You don't remember. Okay. And, of course, he is using everybody else's phone to try and find it.
I don't know.
And many people can say why she keeps on asking questions where he doesn't know. She's actually trying to show that he's not a credible witness. Because when the defense was asking him questions, he had no problem. He tried to remember as best as he can. He answered He was upbeat, but then when the prosecution came, he his attitude completely changed. Completely changed. He went ghost. You can bear like his hair is slowly covering his face like to intimidate. But you are supposed to convince the prosecution that you're telling the truth. Not only the prosecution, but the judge and the jury. But he failed that assignment. But like I'm going to stick to what I originally said about this case. I believe Melly genuinely, genuinely had love for Juvie and Sack Chaser. However, a enemy or enemies that did not like how close Melly, Juvie, and particularly Sack Chaser. Yes, they were close to Bortman, but I think those three were very, very close. So this enemy or enemies did not like how close these three were. And they came and sowed seeds of division, resembling probably praise, like they, oh wow, look how cool you guys is, but deep down did not want them to be together, or either wanted that position for themselves. And they began sowing seeds either in Melly's ear and or in Sack Chaser and Julie's ear. And that's how their relationships began to deteriorate. Remember, Melly called Sack Chaser his twin. Sack Chaser looked nothing like Melly, where Juvie and maybe AD had a little resemblance like Melly, not Sack Chaser. They didn't resemble each other facial wise nor in height. Melly standing next to Sack Chaser, that was night and day. Sack Chaser was very much taller than Melly was. But from whatever they went through, Melly thought that Sack Chaser deserved that title to be called his twin. And that may have rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And they began to sow tears, sow division, sow seeds of jealousy or whatever it may be. Oh, look how he's talking to you. Oh, why you always have to go to him and stuff like that. Oh, he don't want you to make it. You don't see every time you have something going on, he tell you no. It could be something like that. But an enemy or enemies came amongst these young men, excuse me, and completely destroyed this relationship. And hence, here we are. Yes, the person was not fully responsible. It was still up to Melly and Sack Chaser them if they were gonna believe and stuff like that. Sometimes, what if you've been through certain things with a person, even if somebody's telling you something about them, what you've been through should be enough to say no. I don't think he is jealous of me. I don't think he's gonna betray me. I don't think he's talking to me that way because he don't want me to make it. That should be enough. But I guess it's not enough in the times that we're living in. Whether Melly did or didn't do it, he's still gonna have to live with the fact that he was so cool with these young men that he tattooed their names on his face, their aliases on his face. But when they lost their lives, he didn't even show up to the funeral because, of course, something happened between them. Something happened between them. So now you are cool with these young men. Now you're never going to be able to trust anybody else. So I don't even know why maybe AD think, now I'm going to be YNW AD. Melly probably is never going to ever trust anybody ever again like he did with Juvie and Sack Chaser. So just give it up, AD. Just give it up. So the trial continues. So this witness, I don't know. I don't know. The defense be really preparing these people. I don't know how they prepare these people, but that was a failure. So I guess the testimony is going to continue. I believe it's supposed to be winding down to close this case to decide if Melly gonna live or he's gonna go free. We don't know. But that's all I had to say about the situation. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.